The Language Ladder: How Learning New Tongues Boosts Your English. Introduction. Think about your day. From the moment you wake up, words are all around you. The sound of your alarm is a noise, but the words on your phone, the talk with your family, the news you hear, that's all language. It's how we share our thoughts, our feelings, and our stories. For most of us, speaking our first language, like English, feels as easy as breathing. We don't often stop to think about the amazing way we can make sentences, understand jokes, or even just ask for a drink. It just works. But have you ever stopped for a moment and wondered about the hidden parts that make our language run so well? What are the secret rules that let us connect with each other so deeply? Now, here's an idea that might surprise you. Many people think that learning a new language, like French or Japanese, is just about learning new words and rules for that language. You learn how to say hello and thank you in a new way. But what if I told you that learning a different language could actually help you use English better? What if learning Spanish or Mandarin could make your English suddenly clearer, stronger, and easier for you and others to understand? It might sound a little strange, like finding a secret door that leads back to your own home. But it's true. This isn't magic. It's about a simple, important truth. Languages are not separate. They are linked in ways we often don't see. This idea of being linked is what we call language connections. Imagine languages as a big family. English has many relatives. It has cousins from the German family, like German and Dutch. It has borrowed words and ideas from its distant relatives in the French and Latin family. When you start learning a language that is related to English, you begin to see familiar patterns. You might notice how some sentence structures are similar, or how some words sound alike and mean the same thing. It's like meeting a distant cousin and suddenly knowing why you both have the same smile or the same way of telling a story. This connection isn't just about words, it's about how we build sentences, how we share ideas, and even how we think. Let's think about grammar, which can sometimes feel like the difficult part of any language. You can see grammar as the plan for a house. Every house has a plan that shows where the walls go, where the doors are, and how the rooms connect. When you learn a new language, you are looking at a different plan for a different house. But as you study that new plan, you start to understand the basic ideas of building. You see how beams hold up roofs and how pipes carry water. This understanding of building houses in general makes you look at the plan of your own house, your English, with new eyes. You begin to see the common beams, the shared pipes, the basic design that makes any house stand up. English, with its long history and its many influences from other languages, is a perfect example of a language where understanding these connections can be very helpful. Now, why is learning a third language often so good for improving your English? When you learn your first language, it's so natural that you don't really think about its rules. You just learn them. It's like learning to walk. You don't study how your muscles and bones work. But when you start learning a second language, you have to think about grammar on purpose. You have to compare the new rules to the ones you already know in your own language. This makes you more aware of language itself. Then, when you start learning a third language, you are already experienced. You have tools in your mind for comparing and contrasting. If you learn Spanish first, you might have spent time understanding how verbs change their endings. When you then learn Italian, which also has changing verbs, you can compare them. And this comparison can make you look back at English verb tenses, like I walk, I walked, I will walk, with a new understanding of how they work, even though English's system is simpler. It's like having two different maps of the same area. The second map helps you understand the first one even better, and a third map shows even more details and different views. This book, The Language Ladder, is made to be your guide on this exciting journey. We will explore how learning new languages doesn't just add to your skills, it makes your understanding of English better. You'll discover how learning the grammar of another language can show you the often hidden structures of English grammar. You'll see how new words can give you new ways to think about the words you already know. This will lead to writing with more confidence, speaking more clearly, and understanding English more deeply and naturally. It's about seeing language not as separate subjects, but as a connected web of knowledge. So, are you ready to build your understanding one language at a time? Let's start climbing the language ladder together and discover just how much stronger your English can become. 1. Learning new languages. When you learn the rules of a new language, it helps you understand the rules of English much better. Looking at how the two languages are alike and different makes English easier to grasp. 1. Boosting English skills. When you learn the rules of a new language, it helps you understand the rules of English much better. Looking at how the two languages are alike and different makes English easier to grasp. 1. Understanding language rules. When you learn the rules of a new language, it helps you understand the rules of English much better. Looking at how the two languages are alike and different makes English easier to grasp. Conclusion. We are at the end of our shared adventure. Thank you for coming with me. You have learned that learning a new language is more than just gaining a new skill. It is a strong way to make your English better and easier to understand. It is like finding a secret path to know your own language better. This trip showed us that learning a new language, even if it is your third or fourth, can help you understand the rules and how English works. It is not magic, but a clear, smart link we have found. Think of languages not as separate islands, but as different rooms in a big, connected house. When you learn how the water pipes work in one room, you start to understand how water moves through the whole house. In the same way, when you learn the rules of another language, you start to see the main structure of your own language. Every language you explore adds a part to this big picture, helping you see the whole house, and especially your own English room, in a new way. The main idea we explored is called language links. This is the simple truth that all languages are connected. They share basic parts and rules, even when they sound very different. What you have seen in these pages shows this deep truth. Remember how learning how to talk about time in Spanish or French suddenly made the rules for English time much clearer. That was not by chance. It was language links showing you the common way we talk about time with words. We also saw how words can build bridges. Words that look and sound alike and mean similar things are like friendly greetings between languages. Learning a new word in one language might instantly give you a hint about a similar word in English, helping your words grow faster and with more trust. And it is not just about words. Understanding how sounds work in another language can help you hear the small changes and sounds in English better, making you a better listener and speaker. Even the way sentences are built in another language can show you new ways to think about your own English sentences, making them more interesting and strong. Every time a difficult English idea became clear because of your experience with another language, it showed language links at work. These connections are not just interesting facts about languages. They lead to real, helpful improvements in your English. Because you have seen how sentence parts connect across languages, your English sentence endings now feel like a smart system you can understand and use. Not just random rules. Your words are more plentiful, not just because you learned new words, but because you understand how words are related and where they come from. Reading hard English texts becomes easier because you can more easily understand how sentences are put together and catch small meanings using the patterns you have seen elsewhere. This deeper understanding naturally leads to more confident talking. You are better able to say what you think clearly and well, both when you write and when you speak. You have learned to notice language itself more, how it is made, how it works, and how you can use it with more skill. This noticing, this ability to see the connections, is called thinking about language. It is like having a special glass that lets you see how language works. And the more languages you learn, the clearer this glass becomes and the stronger your English grows. So, what does this mean for your future? It means you have a big help. You can feel good about learning even more languages, knowing that each new one will make your English even better. Any future language learning challenges you meet will be faced with the trust and the tools you have gained from this book. You now have a special skill for learning languages, a plan that makes the work easier and more rewarding. Remember the picture of the language ladder from our title? Every language you learn is another step on that ladder. And with each new step, you climb higher, not just in that new language, but very importantly, your understanding and skill in English also reach new heights. This trip is about more than just languages. It is about growing as a person. Learning languages helps your memory, makes your problem-solving skills better, and opens your mind to new ways of thinking. These are wonderful good things that come with making your English sharper. As you continue your language journey, remember that it is all connected. Believe that every new word learned is a new way to look at your English. Your English is not a place you arrive at, but a lively, growing land. By continuing to explore other languages, you will keep making your own language richer and deeper. Thank you for walking this path with me. Welcome the connections and watch your English grow strong.